Hello and welcome back to the Blade of Akaya channel. This is a quick video just to show you where all of the mob cave instances are. These are not the robot instances. There are 4 of them in total dotted around the map, and I'm going to show you in this video where they all are. And we're going to run through each one as quickly as we can. So straight away, looking at the map, we have the Delphine teleport here. And if you don't have all of the teleports, please check out my teleport video. Hopefully there should be a link above directing you to that. And that'll show you how to get all of the TPs. But yeah, the first one, the easiest one to get to in my opinion, is to go to Delphine for the Verdathos instance, which is right around, I would say around here. This one's kind of the quickest one to get to. The next ones after that, we're looking at Terrorax, which is about here, I would say. And then after that one, we've got Cinderak, which is based around here. There's an entrance to the side of the volcano. There's a lava tube, basically, and you kind of drive up into that or run up into that. And it takes you to the entrance of the instance. And the last cave instance, you know, for your daily vouchers, that is, because there is another set of cave instances, but I'll cover that in another video. But that's a different kettle of fish altogether. The last one is around here, and this is for Vesuvor. And it's very hard, and unless you have some really high burn and general protection, it's going to be a struggle for most people, but we'll try and cover that one as well today. So first off, like I said, we're going to go to the easiest one to get to in my opinion, and that's from Delphine, the Verdathos cave. So here we are at Delphine, and we're about to head off up this way. So that way takes you over to the main road and around the rest of this kind of island, but we're going to head up this way as it's the quickest way to get to the Verdathos cave, or the cave which has got the Verdathos boss in it. So we just head up this way, kind of hang a right when we get to this step, and then hug the hill or the hillside on the left. The Verdathos are pretty slow, and they don't aggro that easily in most circumstances, so you can get away with being quite close to them. But don't go toe-to-toe with them, because they might get a cheeky slap in on your hover vehicle or whatever. And there it is. That's so easy to get to. Very quick daily voucher run. Also, if you do aggro one, you just simply run away. There's a hidden turret here that deals with the mobs. Several of the caves have got that. So we've entered the cave now. Just remains for me to buff and get to shooting. These guys, if you've seen the A.R.I.S armor, let me get a link to that. A.R.I.S. So what we expect the damage distribution to be like on these is mainly acid focused, with a lot of cut, a lot of stab, and a bit of impact. It's not really what the perfected Gorgon's made for, but thankfully these low ones, I just fully deflect them anyway. To be fair, modified Viceroy can go a fair way for the skilled player on the whole of A.R.I.S, to be honest. Just not so much the bots, because of the electric damage that they do. So it's quicker to kind of, you know, run and shoot and kind of backpedal at the same time, because that way you're progressing through the tunnel all the while. And it just makes the whole instance a bit quicker. You can just kind of speed run it and just run the way through and not kill a great deal of the mobs in here and just go straight for the boss. I don't know, it feels like a bit of a waste doing that, but also you don't know if there's some kind of hidden tier contribution mechanic going on where, you know, if you don't kill all the mobs, you kind of take yourself out of the running for certain loot, maybe. I don't know that that's a thing. It's got a mini there, just under 20 ped, that one. Right, I'm not going to backpedal here because we've got to go around that corner anyway, and there's a mob right there. There we go. Now we can backpedal to the next one. As you can see from the radar, there aren't that many mobs in here. It doesn't really take very long, and it's a quick daily voucher. We'll just keep backpedaling. There we are. Another one. Right, take care not to aggro more than you can handle, obviously. Like I said, you can get away with being relatively close to them, but, you know, they do still aggro. They're not completely aggroless like in other instances. For instance, abominations, you know, you can pretty much stand right next to those for quite some time before they'll aggro. Another mini. 17 ped. Okay, and we just keep going, and we can see there is Verdathos, level 80. What I like to do is just tag the other two. Get those out of the way first. I'm now going to backpedal into range of Verdathos now that this one's nearly dead. Job done. And then while we're shooting Verdathos, we can get to the exit ramp. We do, when we've killed this guy, unfortunately have to run back to the exit. And there we get some Hyperium and some Venaris Shin clicks there, a couple of clicks. Just gradually building up some clicks. So when we go up the ramp, we go right. That takes us back out to the exit. Now in the Mortarex cave, it's the other way around. We go up the kind of ramp thing and then we go left. But we'll see that because that's the next one we're going to achieve. So there's the exit. Just run for that. And then we're going to drive back to Delphine. I'm not going to show you the route because I've already shown you the route. So we'll kick off from transport base Bianca. Okay, we're back at Delphine and we're just about to teleport over to Bianca. Bianca's in the far northwest. So we'll just head over there now. The first one I usually go for out of these two, because obviously both of these are available from the Bianca TP, is Terrorax. I find that one quicker to kind of get to first. So we want to head off up to the right here. There's a big ramp. So looking south, it's on your right. So it's in the west. So we head up this ramp. And then basically just follow this cliff all the way down. And we'll see a small peak with a door in it. And that's our Terrorax instance. But we'll just run through here. Now, if you hug the cave, sorry, the cave, if you hug the cliff all the way down, you're less likely to aggro some Mortarex. Now, there is a spawn of Mortarex further down here. We'll start to see those red dots. I wouldn't really recommend going down on the sandy area and then going up the cliff in a strider, because there are spina scavengers down there. Not scavengers, the other one. The ones that are like drones, not scouts. Damn, I can't even remember what they're called now. So, yeah, we have to go around this little bit. Now you can see some Mortarex red dots. And that's too far out, that one. It might aggro. It's not too bad because the Mortarex are pretty slow. Certainly the lower maturities anyway. The bigger ones can be a bit quick. But just keep hugging the cliffside. And now we can see, oh look, there's a spina right there that shouldn't be there. But you can see the peak there and the door in the hill on the side. And we just head straight for that. Again, if you've aggroed some mobs, they will die at the door, because there is a hidden turret. So in we go. Right, we're now in. These guys will pretty much aggro straight away. So you need to be on your game straight away. Again, I think Mod Viceroy takes you so far with these. I haven't really tried in a while because I've got the Gorgon, so I just wear that. It's easier. So again, we're going to work our way through. I should have been backpedaling there and I just forgot. But yeah, we're going to do that now. Just keep backpedaling. And like I said before, you can just speedrun this and just run all the way through and get to the boss, but you will more than likely aggro a whole bunch of them. So obviously, to be able to do that, you need to be strong enough to do it. This is the bit we drop off from after killing the boss, and so therefore we go left out to the exit. You can also kind of hop up there if you're lucky with the jumps, and shortcut this as well in that way. Obviously the backpedaling here will get you more aggro, so just bear that in mind. Another mini there, 49 ped. Gonna backpedal over to this one. I mean, in reality, these guys that are over here, you could just ignore and just hug this right-hand wall. But I'm going to show you the full clear methodology. Keep backpedaling through the columns. Now, these instants do demand a reasonable amount of damage per second. You know, none of these instances are geared towards the low-end player for sure. What that minimum DPS is, I don't really know yet. I need to do some experimentation and maybe come out with another video on that. Okay, just head back towards this guy. Keep going. There is a passive auto loot when you come into these caves. Most of the caves have this. I say most, I think all of them do. The kind of area that doesn't is the maintenance tunnels that go between the robot instances. I think that does not have the auto loot. Right, there's Terrorax. So we'll clean up these smaller mobs first. I should have scanned Verdathos when we were there, but I'll scan Terrorax and hopefully, if I remember, Cinderak and Vesuvor. There we go. Here's Terrorax. Cheeky scan. 4,200 health, so just like kind of sub Dasplita level health. But you know, the numbers don't really tell us a lot more, because I think after 20 years we still haven't really figured out what all of these numbers really mean. And how they contribute to certain things. You know, there's going to be a combination of these numbers that contribute to how often they hit you, and how much evade level you need, but we haven't figured that out, unless it's a hidden stat that we're not allowed to see. But there you go, that's the Terrorax done. And as I said, you hop over the kind of wall bit there and hang left, and that takes us out to the exit, which should be appearing. There it is, exit cave. Right, we've exited the cave. I'm basically just going to head back exactly the way we came in. And then when we get to the sandy kind of ramp, that's when I'll pick up again. Correction, it's not a sandy ramp, it's a grassy ramp. But we're there now. So I'm just going to U-turn here. And we can see Bianca just there. Unfortunately, pressing T will not bring us back to Bianca. It will take you to an outpost that's further to the south. And that's not what we want when we're trying to get from Terrorax to Cinderak. And I think if you press T at Cinderak, I'm not sure where you end up. In all honesty, I don't know if you end up... I think you end up at the outpost on the way to Alfonso, near the bridge that heads to the southern islands. So we go up this ramp here and we're just basically heading towards the volcano, but there is a field of Mortarex here and we have to kind of avoid as many as possible because they will aggro, and these guys are a little bit quicker than the ones over the other side. But there's a little ramp here on the side of the volcano, and we just want to follow this all the way up. And we want to try and be as clean as possible so that the aggroed mobs kind of disappear off the radar pretty quick. And then there is the lava tube, so we're going to head straight into that, and there we go. We've got rid of all the red dots on the radar. We did have one or two chasing us there, but we managed to shake them off. I've seen people just drag tens of mobs into this cave, and it's just ridiculous. It's like, why are you doing that? Right. And as usual, in we go. I don't know if that one's got a turret, because the mobs don't seem to die there. So this is more of your kind of sandy cave, I like to call it. That's what it looks like, sandy cave. Right, I'm going to pop another one of these because it's going to run out anyway. Now, Cinderak can be either in the left-hand side or the right-hand side. So what I like to do is I like to go left first. Let's take out the filing and the Fireroid here in the first part. And then hang a left. And then we've got some more mobs in here, so let's tag this raider, Fireroid raider, but there's a filing that aggroes right around the corner as well. So you have to be careful there. If you're struggling for protection, I would just aggro the filing first, don't shoot the Fireroid. There he comes. Filing guard. Now the maturities of the mobs inside each of these caves these cave instances can change a little bit. I've noticed, so just bear that in mind. You know, I've seen slightly bigger filings in this cave instance. Okay, and then you go into this kind of mid chamber, and then you go up to the back, and then what we want to do here is just peek. We just want to peek. Right, we've aggroed the Thyroid, but that's fine, because Cinderak doesn't really aggro until you're right on top of him. Now, is Cinderak up here? Can't see Cinderak. No. Right, so Cinderak is not on the left this time. Now, if Cinderak was here, I would back out and go the other way, clear out the mobs on the other side, and then come back for Cinderak and do him last. I don't think you need to do that. It's just the way I like to do it. And that way, once I've killed Cinderak, this cave has a respawn. So there's a bunch, like 4 mobs respawn after he's dead. So that's something to look out for. So now we're going down the right path. We've got some infernal residue there. All right, so Cinderak is right there, but there's a Thyroid right here. So let's get rid of the Thyroid first. Now, in terms of protection for these guys, you want to be looking at the Ignis armor as a guide. And we're looking heavy burn, basically. 75 burn, 50 acid, 35 cut, 40 impact. So that kind of gives you your ratios of protection that you need for these kinds of mobs. Now, I think they're all different, because these guys, the Thyroid elites, tend to be way more burn than the other stuff. You know, he's hitting me for well over 100 here, but I'm not wearing any burn protection at all. Now, if I was to wear... we only got a daily voucher for that one. That's rough. Okay. So, here's the respawn again. Thyroid Guard. Yeah, if I was wearing the Penellian armor... you know, it's a different situation, because Penellian with AP 66 burn, it's a lot of burn protection. So I like to kind of clear out the cave. Again, you can speedrun this. You can just go and find Cinderak, sort Cinderak out, and then exit. You don't have to kill all of this stuff. I just like to. And if you're a lower player, you have to, right? Because otherwise you just get aggro and then you can't kill the boss. Or you have to be very lucky. Right, we got another mini there. 20... just under 23 ped, and we got some more infernal. Right, so I'm going to exit the cave. We're going to head back down the lava tube, back to Bianca. I'm not going to show you that because it's pretty basic. And then we're going to head down to Ganon in the southeast. Teleport Ganon. Okay, we have arrived back at Bianca. And I'm just going to head down to Ganon. Ganon's all the way down here. And that's nearest, or the kind of easiest access to, in my opinion, it's the easiest access. Sometimes you can go from Hedwig instead. And you basically have to go up through here, but you have to be lucky with the Thyroid Elite spawn, because they do spawn all the way through here. But I find if I go to Ganon, I can go through the Verdathos field, and then I've just got some filings to avoid in getting there. Now, I can't stress this enough. You need to be strong enough to do this cave instance. You know, it's not easy. You need a lot of burn protection, and if you don't have the gear and the skills you're gonna struggle. You are gonna struggle. Right, how are we doing for buffs? Okay, so we're okay for buffs. Now, I'm going to pop out my hoverboard again. Now, I dare say there are other routes into this cave. Like, I don't know, you could come out of the maintenance tunnels and then head kind of across the side of the volcano instead. But I think this is just quicker. You go to Ganon. You just got some big Verdathos to avoid. Again, don't go toe to toe with them. That way you keep them at a distance, even if they aggro. And then we're just going to kind of hang right. You see where all the smoky fields are? Just hanging right there. Dodging Verdathos. But we've got to keep them in sight because we need to go over that way. So... and go between these, off the throttle and back on, just to avoid a rubber band. There we go. Off and on. So you can see the lava field to our left. We're just going to kind of sneak through here. Now we've got Mortarex on the right hand side here, so you have to be careful there. They have a big aggro range. In fact, I've gone too close to them already. Yeah, I've aggroed one. So that's something to note. You want to avoid doing that. And here's another situation. Now we've got these big filing commanders here. We want to avoid those as best we can. I tend to kind of go up this hill a little bit, and then we can just kind of drop down to the bridge. Like so. Keep lifting off the throttle a little bit, and it does reduce the rubber banding a bit. Even though you've got aggro chasing you down, it feels counterintuitive, but it can save you save your life basically. Right, we've got a Fireroid Elite. I just want to hang as far away from that as possible on this chocolate fire guard of a vehicle. And what we want to do is... whoa, that's... okay, this is bad. That did not go as intended. So, this is a very real possibility, trying to get there without killing everything. Now I've got movement penalties when I'm not moving. So, it's put me out on the hill. So, if you head up that way, that heads to the maintenance tunnel exit for the miner bots. I think that's right. Yeah, definitely that way. We're not far from where we were. I need to recall the vehicle. This time I'm going to, I think, take the Strider instead, because for some reason they're all hanging around the path, which isn't helpful. Now I could just kind of kill them, but it's a lot of ped and time, basically. So, what I'm going to do is use the Strider instead. It's going to take me a little bit longer. But from here, we can kind of hug the volcano and stay well away from the mobs. So if that path is kind of busy, this is what you can do. You just basically go to this outpost. And then from here, you just take a Strider and go rock climbing. Remember, throttle control on the mountain side is paramount. Otherwise, you're going to be backflipping. It's not helpful looking at it that way. Here we are. Right, we got the bridge. Alright. Now we have another problem, I think, because the Mortarex is down in the lava. Okay. Not so bad. Not so bad. He will aggro again. Right. But he's down there, so what's he going to do? It's going to take him a while to get out. If I need to, I'll just have to get out and fight him. Get rid of him. Right, we want to head off up this way. That's it, like this. And we can just avoid all of those Thyroid elites down there. Hopefully, he's not going to catch me. He is climbing. Be careful not to backflip here because, especially with a mob chasing me, it's not a good plan. Now, unfortunately, the Strider is a bit slow, but it does mean we are directly in this base, this cave entrance, and oh, he's taking chunks, but he's going to die because there's a hidden turret here. So if you do manage to get kind of close to this area and you've got a bunch of mobs on you, you know, the hidden turret will sort you out. Scorched Rift Cavern. Now, this is a different kettle of fish. Pop one of these. These guys are harder. Thyroid champion to start with. And a Volcreptus veteran to add into the mix. In my experience, Vesuvor is always to the right. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's always on the right hand side in here. So we want to go left first if we're doing full clear. Again, you know, if you're trying to speed run this or whatever, you don't need to kill everything on the left. You will more than likely aggro it all, but unless they can kind of teleport through the cave walls, which can happen, I believe. So, you know, bear that in mind. It can happen. There we go. These guys are pretty chunky. This is only a harden though, so that's pretty light. I've had some pretty chunky ones in here. I think I did a Magma Kuma Eternal the other day. See, I've already there's a Pyromancer or something in there, and he's already aggroed. Okay, we're gonna hang to the right and peek left. All right, we've got nothing there, so the next bit is this chamber up here, and Volcreptus straight in there, straight in. Another one. Now, I appreciate I'm making this kind of look a little bit easy right now, but I assure you when we get to Vesuvor, it's not. Right, we've got an Apex, so that's pretty light. There is some problem in here where it blocks your shots. Drag him away from that spot. Something here is blocking. It's either this plant or something hidden. But it's annoying as hell. So we're just going to kill this guy, and then we're going to take the right-hand path. In the same vein as Cinderak, Vesuvor doesn't aggro that easily, so you can actually kind of move around him a little bit. And deal with all the other mobs in the cave. Just to prevent those from aggroing on you while you're trying to tackle Vesuvor. It might be Vesuvor. Probably more accurate, really. There we go. Pyromancer. These guys are ranged. Do big damage. How much is left of my gun? Okay, 11 ped. I think we're all right. Okay, and we're just going to inch forward a little bit. There's nothing to the right, but we are going to get some Volcreptus now. Here we go. Right, I need to go back the other way. As you can see, these guys are a little bit bigger. These are Ascendant Volcreptors, taking bigger chunks out of me. Quite a few codex rank ups in this video. So as I said before, this is Penellian armor, Penellian Imperium armor with AP 66 burn. Oh, I'm already using that. So it's another Thyroid Elite Pyromancer. Now, in a lot of cases, the level number kind of tells you what evade level you need to tackle them. It's not an exact science, and not all mobs follow that rule. And these mobs, a lot of the mobs on A.R.I.S also do not follow that rule, because that guy's a level 131 and he misses me quite a bit. So that's something to bear in mind. Right, there we go. Volk. There's a Magma Kuma in there as well. So another Volk Ascendant. And now we go for the Magma Kuma. And it's another Apex, so fairly low. Not that low, but low enough. I've had Sovereigns, I've had Sentinels, and I've had Eternals in here. There we go, that's him sorted out. Right, now we're getting into the last kind of chamber area. Something's already aggroed. What is that? It's a Thyroid Elite Pyromancer. Now we've got a filing commander in there. Right, that's him done with. What I'm going to do now is repair my gun, because I'm losing TT on it rapidly. Let's repair the armor as well, just so we're fully protected. There we go. Okay. Now, for Vesuvor, we're going to have to get the pet out. For sure. Okay, I don't want the Pyromancer right now. Come on. There's two filings on me now. See, the problem with these caves is that they haven't adjusted the aggro range on the mobs. Oh, there's no auto loot in here either. Okay. I just do it automatically in a lot of cases. This is slightly different because I think all of the other ones are called like Mysterious Cave. Or maybe the other Sandy Cave didn't auto loot as well. I just wasn't paying attention. I've got two mobs on me. This wasn't ideal, really. What I should have done is tagged one of the filings with the ML35. It's another Pyromancer. We could have had regents and things like that in here, but we didn't. This is a fairly easy cave. Easy in air quotes. The armor doing work there. Okay, so this is kind of a dead end, so we head back out. And then we have, so that's where we came in. Now we have this section here. Now Vesuvor is right there. Vesuvor, sorry. I always say Var, no, it's Vor. But I'm just going to avoid him for now and go for this champion. Don't drag me in there, please. And we've run out of candy cane, so that's something to be aware of as well. Something I'm always forgetting to do. Okay. Let's deal with the Warlord, and that's it for this cave. I don't think there's a respawn after this boss. We'll double check in a minute. I think it's only in the Cinderak one. Okay, what I want to do is tag that filing because he's going to aggro anyway. There's another mob in there. There's another filing. What I want to do is kind of sneak this way. Tag him out. Now, it's important not to take on Vesuvor yet, because this tunnel is still open, and if you die, you have to run all the way back through. Now, if I go and sort out these two mobs in here, that tunnel then collapses. And it means we respawn with Vesuvor. Now that's important because if you do die quite a few times to him, you're going to minimize the amount of regen he's got. Oh, he's actually... Is he aggroed? He might be. Alright, let's deal with this filing. It's been a pretty easy cave in the grand scheme of things, but like I said before, Vesuvor is not easy. Okay, now we got work to do. So let's get the pet out. Electrotherapy is on. Let's make sure we're not going to lose electrotherapy. The pet's already trying to kill me. Vesuvor's already trying to kill me. I'm going to... Whoops, wrong one. And we've already messed up. Oh, the cave hasn't collapsed yet. Interesting. I'm going to use HDNA for now. We've lost the pet though, which is kind of annoying. I messed up there. I used my combustive 8. Combustive 7 instead of my arsenistic. He's already hitting me big. Yeah, I don't know why the cave hasn't collapsed. Perhaps it'll collapse next time I walk through it. I don't know if I die again. That's not ideal because then he'll have regened. I think maybe if you kind of go back through and then come back towards Vesuvor again. Jeez, this damage. And that's it. This is because I don't have the pet giving me the boosted heals. This is, you know, this is what I'm saying. He is tough. Really tough. So I think the next time we come through this gap, it's going to collapse. But we're right back at the beginning now, so we need to hightail it back to Vesuvor. And all the way through. Let's get the pet out now. Which way is he? This way. I'm gonna instantly... Yeah, see, now it's collapsed. Right. It's doing so much damage today. But we've got the pet out now. Hopefully that helps us a bit more. Use up the last of my arsenistic chip on him. I typically don't do Vesuvor. Just because it's just so much hard work trying to kill him. That I just feel like it's almost not worth the daily voucher to that end. Like if I was a lot more skilled and he was missing me a lot more. Like what the hell? He's got me again. as you can see, we've revived right here now. But this is where things just get really, really difficult now because I can't get the pet out yet. And then you get tool lag because it doesn't switch quickly enough. Hopefully we can get the pet out soon. I think the arsenistic chip died, so... Oh, God's sake. I was literally fapping. But this is the problem. Now I've got a 30-odd second timer, and his regen doesn't stop, you know? Straight away, massive hit. And again, massive hit. So this is how it goes, really. And it's like I've said before, you can't really use the Tesla pod in all situations because in a lot of circumstances it gets you killed. You just have to hope you're getting low hits every now and then. Now, you can do some things to mitigate this situation. You can take what's called a fart. It's an NI buff, and it gives you 100 extra health for an hour. There he is. Get wrecked. No blueprints, no Hyperium, just one daily voucher. And that's it. But the collapse is now our exit, so we do get a quicker exit from this cave. And that concludes all of the mob caves. So if you found this helpful, please give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel for more Entropia Universe content. That's going to be it from me, folks. Bye-bye for now.
Come at me, Troxys, I'll settle the score.